Hey guys, Shadowhunt005 back with part 2 of our theme deck review. So yesterday we looked at the Zacian theme deck, so if you haven't seen that video, check it out. And today we are going into the Zamazenta deck. So this theme deck is also a seal type just like yesterday's one, which, as I said, I find a bit unusual, as you usually find that theme decks oppose each other. But as I said, yesterday seemed to be more of an attacking type of theme deck. This one I would presume is very defensive, with heavy hitters that require a lot of energy. But let's have a look at the back and at the synopsis.
Zamazenta holds the line. Strong as any shield, the legendary Pokemon Zamazenta and a group of Pokemon warriors are ready to battle. Duraludon gets you powered up quickly, and Professor's research ensures that your hand stays full of options. Corviknight and Ferrothorn add steely determination as you keep the Zamazenta deck focused and on target.
So actually looking at the deck list, we have 2 Zamazenta, 2 Corviknight, 3 Corvisquires, 3 Rookdees, 2 Bishops, 3 Pawniards, 2 Ferrothorns, 3 Ferroseeds, 2 Duraludons, 2 Dans, 2 Great Balls, 4 Hops, 2 Metal Saucers, 2 Pokekids, 2 Potions, 2 Professor's Research, 2 Sonya, 2 Switch, and 18 Metal Energy. So it's got a very similar deck to the Zacian deck. Has the same amount of energies. You've got the Switch, Sonya, Professor's Research, Pokekid, Metal Saucer, Hop, Great Ball, and Dan. All those were in yesterday's video. But we do have some more things such as the Potion in this one. But let's actually open up the deck. So, very much like yesterday's one, we have this guide to the actual deck, which gives us an idea on how this deck should be played. We also have these nice new damage counters, the quick start rules, the special condition cards, as well as what you can do in your turn card. We get the deck mat, which has poster on one side, and that is the deck mat. This one has the Zamazenta, whereas yesterday's had Zacian. We also get the Zamazenta coin, which is pretty nice, just like yesterday's one. We also have the hollow Zamazenta, which is outside of the actual box. It's pretty nice, pretty cool, that artwork. But let's actually open up the deck. So just like yesterday, these are out of any particular order, so I am going to fix that now. So now that they're all in order, we have our 18 Metal Energy cards, and we have the second non-foil Zamazenta. It is a 120 HP steel type Pokemon with 2 attacks. Guard Press, which requires 1 Metal Energy and 1 of any other energy. During your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes 20 less damage from attacks after applying weakness and resistance. And its other attack is Power Rush for 2 Metal Energy and 1 of any other type of energy. Does 120 damage. Flip a coin. If tails, during the next turn, this Pokemon cannot attack. So that seems like quite a risky card, unless you've got cards that allow you to reflip coins should you fail. But when you compare it to its sword counterpart, then the first attack is pretty much allowing a defensive way, whereas the first attack on the other one allowed you to attach another energy, increasing the attack. As for the second attack, both of them seem quite even. The damage on both attacks are actually the same, but with Zacian we were discarding 2 energy cards from it. This one, it's a case of if you flip tails it can't attack. Both of them can have negative effects. Moving on to the second Pokemon mentioned in the synopsis, we have Duraludon. It is a Steel type with 130 HP. So already I'm seeing a high health pool. As I said, Steel type of 130 HP. It has 2 attacks. The first one, for 1 of any color energy, Metal Sharpener, does 30 damage. Attach an energy card from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon. That's pretty good. And then its second attack, for 2 Steel energy and 1 of any other energy, Power Beam, does 110 damage. So that's a pretty good attack. And we have 2 Duraludons in this deck. Moving on to Rookdee, which we had an equivalent to in the Zacian deck in Pidove. This is a 60 HP colorless Pokemon, and it has 2 attacks. The first one is Flap, which does 10 damage for any energy, and the second one is Glide, which does 30 damage for 2 of any energy. So it's not as versatile as that Pidove, which allowed you to search your deck for 2 Pokemon with fighting resistance, but I wonder how that will actually affect this deck. As I said earlier, we get 3 of these in this deck. Moving on to its evolution, Corvisquire. It is another colorless Pokemon with 80 HP. Has 2 attacks. The first one is Pluck. For any energy, it does 20 damage. Before doing damage, discard all Pokemon tools from your opponent's active Pokemon. That can be quite good. Unfortunately, I don't remember any tools actually being in the theme decks. Its second attack, for 2 of any energy, is Drill Peck, which does 50 damage. And we have 3 of these in the deck. And moving on to the final evolution of these birds, it is Corviknight, which has 170 HP, so probably the highest HP in either of these decks. It's a metal type and has 2 attacks. The first one is Peck, which for any energy you can do 50 damage. The second attack costs 1 Steel energy and 2 of any other type of energy. Iron Wings does 130 damage. You may discard 2 energies from this Pokemon. If you do, during your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes 100 less damage from attacks after applying weakness and resistance. So that is actually a brilliant card in my opinion. It can do heavy damage, but also takes so little damage for the cost of those 2 energies. And we have 2 of those in this deck, so I get the feeling that this, as I said, this seems a pretty defensive deck. Next we have Ferroseed, which we have 3 of these in this deck. It's a 70 HP Steel type Pokemon with 1 attack, which is Rollout, which does 10 damage for any energy. So doesn't seem that good, but let's see what its evolution does. So Ferrothorn has 130 HP, it's a Steel type and has 2 attacks. First one, for 1 of any energy, it's Triple Smash. So for this attack you've got to flip 3 coins. The attack does 30 damage for each heads, so you're looking at anywhere between 0 and 90 damage. Its second attack, for 2 metal energy and 1 of any other type of energy, its attack is called Energy Slap and does 100 damage. You may move all energy from this Pokemon to one of your bench Pokemon. That's pretty good. If this thing's about to get knocked out, you just use that Energy Slap and put all the energy onto one of your other Pokemon. And we have 2 of these. Now this is interesting as the Poniard and Bishop aren't actually mentioned in the synopsis at all. But we have 3 Poniards. They have 70 HP. They are Steel typing and they have 2 attacks. The first one is Cut. For any energy it does 10 damage, and its second attack is Metal Claw, which for 1 Steel energy and 1 of any other type of energy does 20 damage. its evolution is also in this. It's a steel type with 120 HP, has 2 attacks. The first one is Charge Order. For 1 of any type of energy, this attack does 30 damage and 30 more damage for each of your bench poniards. So it feels like this is the first line. You would have your poniards on the bench, you would have this up in the active, and you go about attacking with this. Its second attack is 1 steel energy and 1 of any other type of energy. Slicing Blade does 60 damage. You got 2 bishops in this deck. I don't know how well they would do in this deck, but I think they'd be pretty good for frontline attackers. So for the items, we have 2 potions which heal 30 damage from one of your Pokemon. Pretty nice artwork on those. We have 2 switches, which allows you to switch your active Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. We have 2 Great Balls that let you look at the top 7 cards of your deck. You may reveal a Pokemon you find there and put it into your hand. Shuffle the other cards into your deck. We got the Metal Saucer, which, as we saw yesterday, you attach a Metal Energy card from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. Having 2 of those, that might be very good with the Corviknight especially. And with all of the supporter cards, we have the same supporter cards that we did in yesterday's video, so I'm going to be very quick with them. We have 4 hops, which allow you to draw 3 cards. We have the Poke Kid, which allows you to search for a Pokemon, reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. We have Dan, which, as I said in yesterday's video, I find absolutely hilarious. Allows you to draw 2 cards, play rock, paper, scissors with your opponent, and if you win, you draw 2 more cards. Sonia allows you to draw 2 basic Pokemon or 2 basic energy cards from your deck, reveal them and shuffle, put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. As I said, you can't use that to get a basic and an energy, but it's a pretty good card. And then we have Professor's Research, Professor Magnolia. Discard your hand and draw 7 cards. So what do you guys think of the Zamazenta deck? As I said, I think it's a pretty defensive deck. It seems like a lot of the Pokemon in here, certainly all their higher forms, had 120, 130, even up to 170 HP, so they're definitely meant to survive for longer. I may have been slightly wrong about the attacks. It seems like their attacks can still be done pretty early, pretty quickly. Some of them do require higher with 3 energy costs, but that seems like the same with the other deck. But let me know what you guys think. Which of these decks do you prefer, or would you prefer playing with? And until next time, see you guys.